in midfield after his cameo off the bench against MacArthur last week. Jason Guerrier still out with that hip injury, so Stefan Negro makes his 5th consecutive start at right back. Just the one change for Brisbane, that is in goal, where Macklin Freak gets his first start since December in place of Jordan Holmes. It's just his 4th game of the campaign. Jay O'Shea will move into double figures with a goal tonight and would become the first Raw player to score 10 or more in a season since Adam Taggart back in 2018-19. O'Shea scored the winner against Victory here in January. Former Victory players Ramat Akbari and Noah Smith are both on the bench. And a handy-looking bench for Victory as well. Chris Economides and Josh Brillante, Bruce Kamau, all good options to have for Tony Popovic as they look to end the season with a bit of a flourish. Paul Izzo has probably been one of their most consistent performers. 5 clean sheets this season, just 3 of those at home. A season, of course, disrupted by injury concerns as well. He had that thumb problem, which kept him out for 7 matches. And Macklin Freak, perhaps a surprise selection between the posts for Brisbane today, ahead of his housemate Jordan Holmes. Holmes, you might remember, was sent off against Victory in the fixture at Redcliffe after a foul on Nick D'Agostino. Freak came on after 34 minutes and kept a clean sheet in the goalless draw that ensued. Tony Popovic, just short of 9 years ago, he was preparing his then Western Sydney Wanderers team to face Brisbane in the 2014 Grand Final, won of course by Raw for their 3rd championship. That must seem a long way off at the moment. And is this Nick Green's last game in interim charge of Brisbane? There's been a fair bit of speculation in recent days, with names like Ross Aloisi and Marco Kurtz among those rumoured to be in the frame for the coaching vacancy in the Sunshine State. Referee tonight, Sean Evans, who last week sent off 2 Newcastle Jets players in the F3 derby. It's his 156th game in the competition this evening. So Melbourne Victory kick us off the final game of the season before the long off-season for both Victory and for the Raw. And you'd imagine, Daniel McBreen, those long winter months are likely to feature a fair bit of soul-searching as well.
Yes, indeed, Simon. Good evening, everybody. It's been a disappointing season for both these teams. And I guess the only thing really to play for tonight is #1 pride. Go out on a high, but also to miss out on those Australia Cup qualifying matches in July.
And of course 1 or 2 playing for contracts, particularly you'd imagine amongst the Brisbane Raw ranks, maybe with a new coach to arrive. This is Forderoli, who swapped clubs of course mid-season. One of the biggest names in the Victory team. And talking of big names, Macca, we were talking before we came on air about the 3 biggest names to have come to the A-League this season, they being Nani, Charlie Austin and Dwight York, all of which are no longer around, and the league's bottom 3 clubs are Victory, Brisbane and MacArthur.
Yeah, and sometimes clubs look to make a statement. It doesn't always work out, does it, for one reason or another? And on this occasion, all 3 of them haven't really worked out. You can't get it right every time, can you?
Well, they'll certainly want to go into that long off-season with 3 points and avoid having to come back early for those cup playoffs. Here come Brisbane through Jack Hingert down the right-hand side, making his 260th appearance in Raw colours this evening. Only Matt Mackay ahead of him. Waiting for the movement to arrive. Eventually does from Henry Hall. It's going to be a victory throw. Brisbane, of course, like victory, will be relieved that the wooden spoon is no longer a prospect. They've never finished bottom of the competition. Victory, of course, did a couple of years back. This year, that dubious honour will go to MacArthur. This is De Silva. And, of course, on the back of MacArthur losing a little bit earlier on today at home to Wellington. A result that confirms Phoenix's spot in the top 6. Sydney beating Newcastle, which means we're going to have a Sydney derby in week 1 of the finals.
Well, that should be a cracker, shouldn't it? No love lost, obviously. First time we'll see that in the finals. And if it's any solace to Melbourne Victory, as it stands now, they're in 7th place.
Cadete heading off that run of Jack Hingards, who's now out of position. And Ben Falami accelerating into that gap. Scott Neville across to try and cover. Falami got a deflection, and it's going to be a victory corner. He's only scored once this season. Ben Falami, that was the winner against MacArthur. Not far away on that occasion.
And that's what Tony Popovich and the Melbourne Victory fans will want to see from Ben Falami. Direct, getting at his defender. Real aggressive, looking to cut inside and get a shot away, aiming for that far corner.
Just trying to bend it into that far post area, but the important touch off Scott Neville, denying the Victory winger. Does produce the game's first corner, which the Spaniard Cadete will take. Put on an assist for Fernando Romero after 3 minutes against MacArthur last week. And he did pick out Connor Chapman, who is up against the club with whom he started the season tonight. Brisbane Roar, you might remember he had that big set-to with Charlie Austin on the A-League's All-Access programme during his days in the Sunshine State.
How can we forget? It was great entertainment.
Yeah, it was quite a stash, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good insight into dressing rooms. It happens more often, I think, than fans would imagine. And he was up quite well there, actually, and almost a free header. I'm just a little bit disappointed he didn't at least test Macklin Freak.
Charged down by Romero. Throw in for the Roar. Interesting that Tony Popovich has gone with the teenager Geordie Valadon in midfield today alongside Chapman.
I think he's a little bit of a live wire, isn't he? Nothing really on the line today, so why not give him some minutes and let him show what he can do.
Josh Berlanto relegated to the bench, not for the first time this season. This is Jez Lofthouse. Good to see him getting some minutes as well. Youngster of immense potential. Tom Aldred with a quick, smart turn. Steadied down by De Silva. Forward by Negro for Victory. Chested down by Fernando Romero. Links up with Fordaroli. Lovely take. Beautiful back heel. Victory building nicely. The cross from Cadete. And swept away for Brisbane by Gamulka.
Well, it's been a difficult season for Melbourne Victory, but on a personal note for that man, Bruno Fornaroli, 7 goals. It's not a bad return in a team that's struggling. He's worked hard and tried to lead from the front.
Cadete darting through what appeared to be, at first glance, a non-existent gap. Brisbane defenders all standing like statues momentarily. Cadete again. Angle back through Valadon. Now Roderick Miranda. Had to sit out against MacArthur, of course, last week after that send-off against the Wanderers. Fornaroli didn't see Hoare coming on the blind side. It's going to be a Brisbane throw. Raw, who are now 8 matches without an away win since that success against Victory here at Amy Park. They've lost 6 of those 8, drawn just 2 against Wellington and Sydney. Given away by Gomulka. Negro having to turn and chase. Now Valupale. Romero just reaching for that one. Neville. Hingert. Henry Hoare. Bounced up rather awkwardly. Victory should be able to tidy it up. Paul Izzo, of course, wasn't able to use his hands. You'll note that the players are also wearing black armbands tonight. Let's go down to Georgie Tunney, who's pitch side, to find out why. Evening, Georgie.
Evening, yes. They're wearing these armbands as a tribute to the chairman, Anthony DiPietro's wife's mother, who sadly passed away. We're also getting a lot of animation from Tony Popovic. I'm sitting behind him on the sidelines right now. A lot of yelling, a lot of hand clapping, and the crowd is matching him in fine voice.
Keep your ears open, Georgie. Let us know what he says.
I will.
Here's Gomulka. Lofthouse. Turned back by Truitt. And Aldred, the Brisbane captain. They had his injury problems last season, but they managed to keep their big central defender fit for most of the campaign this year, Brisbane. Little slip on takeoff with that release. There he is. Played for the Scottish junior sides, but his accent is right out of Bolton.
And he's cut a frustrated figure at most post-match interviews this season. They've worked hard at not conceding too many goals, which is going forward has been a very frustrating season.
Speculator. Why not? Jay O'Shea has been their main source of goals, as mentioned, 9 this season, although 6 of those have come from the penalty spot.
Doesn't mind a penalty, does he? 17 A-League goals and 12.
They all count.
12, oh, exactly right. You've got to put them away, and a few of those this season have been in the last minutes of a match that's got results.
Now Valupale in position, as was Scott Neville. Good cover. Victory corner. Experienced partnership, those two, Aldred and Neville.
You can throw Jack Hingert in there as well. As I said, 260 games for the club.
So Victory have thrown their 2 central defenders forward, Roderick Miranda and Demi De Silva. Connor Chapman has already had 1 sighter from a Cadete delivery. Let's see if he can pick him out again. Out goes the signal. It was angled towards Chapman. Oh, no. Roderick Miranda had a complete air swing at the ball. Valadon to try and reload. Back up by Neville. Turned back by Fornaroli. Squared up by Chapman. Valadon seeking but not finding Nishan Valupale, thanks to Courtney Perkins. And Lofthouse will carry it forward. It wasn't until Stefan Negro put a size 8 through it. Early possession stats favouring the home side, perhaps to be expected. Just that one real cause for alarm for Macklin Freak, that deflected effort by Ben Falami. Strangely enough, Brisbane Roar the only team that Melbourne Victory yet to score against this season in the two meetings. Goalless draw in Redcliffe, and of course that 1-0 win for Brisbane at Amy Park in January. De Silva driving the ball forward, looking for that run in behind of Fornaroli, but the Brisbane defence stands strong. Truin. Aldred. And Courtney Perkins. Victory looking to press. Nobody got tight on Tarash Gamulka, who was able to angle it back to his goalkeeper. And now they should be able to get out through that press, Brisbane. Which they do. O'Shea. Truin. Decent ball. Henry Hoare. They had the fullback on the overlap, and the shot by Kai Truin deflected behind, and Brisbane had their first corner.
Well, ultimately it was good play from Brisbane Roar to get through the Melbourne Victory press with Kai Truin.
Why didn't he play Jack Hingett here, though?
Yeah.
That was the ball, surely.
Yeah, it was a great run from Jack Hingett. And also, I thought earlier, Kai Truin and Tarash Gamulka both found themselves in good spaces in midfield, but a little slow to get the ball to them.
Aldred and Neville, two potential targets from O'Shea's corner, and Aldred did reach it. And it's pushed away by Paul Izzo, and Victory can launch a counter. It's Valadon, and it needed that touch by Hingett. A decent corner, and it forced Paul Izzo into his first meaningful work of the night.
It was a smart save. Tom Aldred up strong, heading down as well. It's a little bit more difficult skidding off the surface for the goalkeeper.
Valupale, Negro bombing forward beyond him, and he's found the fullback. That was a good readjustment from Tom Aldred. Here's that chance at the other end some moments ago.
You can see Tom Aldred just guides himself into space, gets up over Roderick Miranda. Good header.
Cadete. Romero just trying to flick it over the top of Aldred, who wasn't fooled. Managed to do so this time, though.
Don't mind that little bit of inventiveness around the edge of the box.
Tom Aldred in action at both ends of the ground. That's a different angle of his header from O'Shea's corner. Izzo had to react pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's a good header down. Just a little too close to Izzo, but of course it's a good save.
Green, who's got experience of coaching at junior level in England with the likes of Hartlepool and Middlesbrough, Lincoln City. A bit of an unknown, really, in Australian circles. Here's Falami. Fornaroli came to the near post. The ball went to the far.
Well, Fornaroli just checked his run and ran along the line of the 6-yard rather than towards that front post, and the split-second decision not quite on the same page. And it has been the story of the season, really. We've seen a number of times this year. The wingers making a run, Fornaroli running off them. Pass goes one way, the run goes the other, and there's a few words and eyes have been looked at each other.
Cadete. Driving run by the Spaniards, held up by Hingett and tidied up by Hoare. I do like the fact that Ben Falami has got into a couple of good positions early on in the game. I think one of the big problems this season, it's only my view, Mako, I don't know if you agree, is that in the wide areas, Falami on one side and predominantly Economides on the other for most of the campaign, they just haven't provided enough.
No, there hasn't been enough spark, hasn't been enough positivity, and again, they don't seem to have that understanding at times with their teammates. As I just said there, quite a few times you've seen ball go one way, run the other, and just a few choice words. Sometimes with confidence, you can go a little awry.
Scott Neville pings it out towards Jez Lofthouse on the left, with the socks rolled halfway down his shins, looking to float it to the back post and find Henry Hoare. There's Falami to clean up for victory. Ingot goes to ground. There's no foul by Ben Falami. Valadon, who has got in a bit of a mess there. Stjepovic to lay it off for Jay O'Shea. Who's trying to seek out Lofthouse at the back post, a little bit overhit. The winger has kept it alive. Truitt almost lost his bearings for a moment. Jay O'Shea took a deflection, and it's going to be a Brisbane corner.
We spoke about Ben Falami and his positive runs early on. As that ball went across the field and Jez Lofthouse picked it up 1v1 against Stefan Negro, you thought maybe he would go drive at him into the box, but elected to bring the ball back out and start again. Jay O'Shea looking to hit double figures.
Wouldn't be his best season if he did hit 10. He once hit 15 for Bury in the lower leagues in England a few years back.
How many penalties?
Here's his corner. Near post. It was awkward, still is. Aldred's in there. And then nodded into the arms of a grateful Paul Izzo by Stefan Stjepovic.
Well, I fancy Stefan Stjepovic was looking for the overhead and realised he wasn't going to be able to get the body up and over in time with the defenders around him. He just looked to shape. Elected for the head and couldn't get any pace on it or direction.
This is a surging run down the right-hand side by Valupale, and he's hit the byline. Still in play. Won't quite drop for Valadon. It's a nice touch by Stjepovic, but Lofthouse not quite in position quickly enough for the pass. This is De Silva. Chapman. Valupale. Cadete. Valupale again. Cadete really get hold of that. Cadete. Victory are going to get a corner out of it.
Here's that last opportunity. Great ball in from Jay O'Shea. Lots of bodies, and it's again Tom Aldred, and you can see there Stjepovic, he looks just a little shimmy there and realises haven't got the time, can't quite get the pace and direction.
Again, it's going to be Cadete with the set piece, this time from the near side towards Chapman at the near post. Valupale still plenty forward for victory. Clearing header from Gamulka. Slung forward by Izzo. Great use of the body by Fornaroli, and Valupale had to think about the shot. Opted against it in the end. Falami. Valadon, Fornaroli, all a bit tight in there to get the combination with Romero going. Perkins looking for an option.
was looking for an option forward, wasn't he, down the line? Shepovic was there at central. He was forced into playing it into a tight area and given the ball away.
Scooped over the top beautifully by Roderick Miranda, and Romero's onto it. Here's Fornaroli, beautiful move, and Valupale in the end is denied by Macklin Freak. Well, that was lovely football from Victory, and it was all started by Roderick Miranda.
Well, that was beautiful, wasn't it? There you go with the scoop pass. I'm sure VAR would have looked at the offside lines, but that lovely touch there from Bruno Fornaroli when it looked like he may have taken a strike on himself. Lovely cushioned pass into the path of Nishan Valupale, who really should be looking for the corner of the goal there.
And those shots on goal, a pretty accurate reflection of the way it's gone. Victory by and large controlling possession, but Brisbane have probably had the better chances. And Tony Popovic's team have got one on target at least now, thanks to Valupale. Lofthouse meantime feeling the full weight of Cadete's boot.
Yeah, see just a little clip there, nothing much in it.
Hurts when you get it on the bone though,
Well,
doesn't
it does hurt.
Especially when your socks are rolled in.
That'll look good.
Jay O'Shea's free kick. Maladon not going to win that ahead of Hingert's. He's set through Lofthouse. This is by Truin to drill it across. And Scott Neville on the turn. Score a huge amount of goals. He's just got the one this season. He's on target.
I knew that was coming. He doesn't score a lot of goals. Domestic there, couldn't quite get the pace on it as it was high above the hips. And just look back to the action before that where Shepovic peeled to the right and he looked up to play a ball centrally and he just saw 3 or 4 Melbourne Victory shirts. Brisbane Roar need to really be determined to get in the box and get into those penalty spot areas around the 6-yard.
Lofthouse was determined to get into position here and he cuts it back for Truin, and Shepovic had no control over the header, but applauds the intent. Nice little move. Lofthouse busy again, this time on the right.
Yeah, positive signs. Getting in some advanced positions. And some half chances.
Both teams have certainly tried to attack. The goals haven't come as yet. I mean, that's been the story of both their seasons, really. Down the line by Lofthouse. Hingert trying to return the compliment, gets a throw off his former teammate. Taking his time with the throw. Darts past Folami. Finds his way forward. Blocked off by Cadete. Ten years with Brisbane Roar, Jack Hingert. Well, of course, started his A-League journey with North Queensland Fury, along with a certain Daniel McBreen.
Yep, he stayed in my apartment when he came up for his trial.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And, got photos of him when my little puppy at the time, and I know now that he's a foster parent for puppies as well. He's been a great servant for Brisbane Roar over the years as well. True professional, wonderful young. I was going to say wonderful young man, not so young anymore.
Brisbane almost playing themselves into a spot of bother there. Cadete too strong for Lofthouse. Squared up by Chapman. Negro. De Silva. Driving forwards. Still going. Not a bad ball in either. Well, that was a wonderful run by the central defender, if you don't mind.
Well, he looked like a winger there, didn't he? Just kept going and going. Some bad whip on the ball in as well.
There's a quality player, Damian De Silva. Played in both the UEFA Champions League and UEFA Europa League. The big clubs that he played for, Lyon and Rennes, where he played in the Champions League.
That was a 65-metre run with a good cross on the end.
He's certainly been one of the signings that really has worked in his short period with the club. This is his central defensive partner, Roderick Miranda. Cheeky back heel from O'Shea. Inget trying to combine with Lofthouse. Dug out by Cadete. Throw from Brisbane. Inget. Side by O'Shea for Truin. The head of Miranda, and then hooked back towards halfway by Cadete, helped on by Romero. Great strength again by Fornaroli. That's what he's so good at, that use of the body. And now releases Fernando Romero, who almost left the ball behind due to a bobble on the pitch. Going to be a corner? No. Stefan Negro thought it should have been. But perhaps tellingly, Macca, there weren't too many protests.
Well, I think he had a bit of a protest. It was a good overlapping run. In there, a little touch, comes back off the knee.
I think it's a goal kick.
I agree.
Well, you don't ask, you don't get.
Well, I was going to say, not very often a footballer will let it go without a question.
It's got away from Balupalek. O'Shea gets it back off Truin. Gamulka. O'Shea having a look. There wasn't too much on, but he's managed to find a little gap for Courtney Perkins. Midfield by Hoare. Now Truin building nicely here, the Raw. Oh, Loftus let it go. Maybe didn't tell Jack Hingan. O'Shea. Wide again by Hoare. Back through Neville. And Gamulka. Aldridge. O'Shea. Again, they work themselves into a nice position, but unfortunately Jack Hingert has gone a fraction too early and is flagged for offside.
Well, that's where a coach says that can never happen. You can see across the line.
That's a coach killer, isn't it?
Yeah. They've got to time that better. can happen when you're central and can't quite see across, but when you're in that wide position, you can see everything.
Just a little bit too eager, Jack Hingham. Roderick Miranda. Whatever Damien De Silva can do, he can do just as well. Frees up Negro. Now Falami central, urged to shoot by the Victory fans. Wide they go again. Stayed in play, and it's going to be a Brisbane throw. And a rather disappointing end to a pretty good field position that Victory had there.
Well, that is one thing, particularly earlier in the season, that Brisbane Roar did well, was get numbers centrally around the edge of their box and not allow the opposition to get the time and space to get strikes away on goal.
Romero's cross, drift on to the top of the goal. Fernando Romero, who scored after 3 minutes against MacArthur last week, just the 8th first half goal the Victory have scored all season. And that's easily the earliest. Tony Popovic on his final black book of the season. How many of those does he get through a season?
I think he gets them in bulk.
Up in the air by Truin. Won easily though by De Silva. Drops here for Chapman. For Lamy. It's a good little pirouette to get rid of Jazz Lofthouse, but he's put it out too far in front of Bruno Fornaroli. Talking of that lack of goals, Brisbane have been kept scoreless on 7 occasions this season, but last week against Sydney was the first time under Nick Green that they hadn't managed to trouble the scorers. But only 25 all season, and Victory have scored just 29. They are 11th and 12th in that regard in the Isuzu UTE A-League men's competition this season. Here's Valupale. Valadon. Well, it opened up nicely for him, and it needed that block from Tom Aldridge. Tony Popovic likes what he saw there.
Well, it was good play all round there, wasn't it? Hold up play here, look up, and then the run from Valadon into the space between centre-back and full-back. And then defending from Tom Aldridge to get across and cover. It's a great forward run from the young man.
Well, a goal on starting debut. Would have been a dream beginning to his career in the senior competition. Well, the corner produced the goal in towards Roderick Miranda, who was, memory serves, has scored a couple of really eye-catching goals at that near post area from set pieces. One against MacArthur, I think. There's a little flick with the instep.
Didn't quite work on that one. And his last one earlier in this match was an air swing, so maybe he used up his quota for the season. He does get himself in good positions in those set pieces, doesn't he?
Falami gets away from Hingetts. This looks promising. Fornaroli was just about to pull the trigger. Really good work from Tarash Skamulka. It's exactly what you want your defensive midfielder to do in those sorts of situations. Now Brisbane spring forward at the other end. Truin, Lofthouse's touch. Here's Henry Hoare. O'Shea twisting and turning, getting past Negro. And the cross nodded away by Miranda. It's still not fully clear for Brisbane, or for Victory I should say. It is now. On a Chapman not quite going to have the legs. Oh, and he left a little bit in that on Tom Aldred's, which might draw the attention of referee Sean Evans. He's quickly away from the scene of the crime.
He was probably the last person that Victory wanted chasing that ball. Wasn't going to have the speed to get there. It was a wonderful run and a great ball as well, but Tom Aldred had him for legs, and it was a late challenge.
He's caught the shin with the studs. Lofthouse. That's away from Negro, not once, but twice. Courtney Perkins, O'Shea. Brisbane working those little rotations well, or at least they were. Romero's touch. Victory almost out, but not quite. Falami. Managing to stay on his feet. Finding that challenge of Hingett, who's still trying to stay with him. Romero encouraged to shoot. Maybe Cadete will. Hits the stanchion.
Well, they found themselves in a number of promising situations, Melbourne Victory. It was great feed again from Ben Falami, who's had a good first half so far. Been aggressive, proactive with his running. And as this ball comes across here, I think if Cadete gives a shout, he may be able to step onto that and strike it first time. If Fornaroli lets it roll.
Yeah, they've tried to be nice and positive, and you can hear what the Victory fans want. They just want goals tonight. Every time they come within range of the penalty area, the cries are to shoot. Courtney Perkins, good readjustment to get away from Valadon. Back heel for Lofthouse. Squared up for O'Shea. Out for Hingett. Alongside him was Shepovic. O'Shea's done well to keep it alive. Hingett didn't look. Only Chapman was there. One back by Kamulka. And subsequently by Chapman for Victory. Was there a foul in there? No. Brisbane will go again. The last 5 minutes of the first half. Plenty of endeavour. As yet, no goals. Chapman too far to the right of Romero. Despite those lack of goals, Macca, it's been a decent watch.
Yeah, it has. As you said, both teams have created some positive actions in that front third. Just can't quite find the finishing touches, which is, of course, the story of their seasons and why we're seeing them battle it out near the bottom of the table.
Punched out wide by De Silva. Falami. Touched by Valupale. Falami again tries to shoot. Unfortunately for Victory, that's the end result. Frustration for both coaches. Whilst we got the chance and we watch this replay, Macca, a shout out for Isaac Powell, former Brisbane Roar player. He's doing it a bit tough at the moment. Wish him all the very best as he battles illness for the second time.
Yeah, sad news that came out this week. Back into a difficult stage. All our thoughts are with you, mate.
Yeah. Fornaroli. De Silva. Negro. Valadon. Miranda. Cadete. Fornaroli always tight to the defender, but protects the ball so well. He looks for the foul. Sean Evans right there, but says no, nothing doing. And Brisbane will look to scamper forward through Lofthouse on the left. Attacking the fullback. Has he delayed too long? In the end, it appears so. It's still there for Brisbane. Hingett. Turned back by Henry Hoare for Gomulka. Just at times, Macca, the decision-making at the crucial moments has been a bit lacking.
Yeah.
Maybe that's confidence, I don't know.
I think some of the positivity as well. Sometimes players have the option to take a touch forward and really get on the front foot, and it's a safe touch back. Or it's an easy pass. Play really rather safe.
Valadon, nobody there in navy blue. So we tick over into the final minute of the opening 45. It's going to be 2 minutes added on, we're told. O'Shea. Nicely angled ball out wide for Hall. And now it might open up. Touch back, O'Shea. And again, that touch needed to be forward from Kai Truin rather than back.
Yeah, look, it wasn't the greatest pass to him. It was a little behind, but he could have easily taken a touch forward and maybe got a strike away or slid a little pass. Instead, it goes back five or so metres.
Now Romero, the guilty party here. He thinks it's a bit harsh. Tarish Gomulka certainly felt it. Confirmation of those 2 minutes to be added on. Maybe as much the fall as the challenge for Gomulka. Seemed to go down awkward on the ankle.
Yeah, I don't think he was took the brunt of the initial challenge, did he? I think he got caught up in collateral damage. And it doesn't look...
Yeah, he's struggling a bit, isn't he?
Chapman and Tom Aldred catching up on that late challenge from earlier. Saying, I owe you one.
Yes, well, teammates, of course. I'll just test out that right ankle of Tarish Gomulka. Some tidy work that he's put in tonight on his return to Melbourne. Of course, he started the season with Melbourne City. On that very important intervention on the edge of his own penalty box just a few minutes ago. Ramat Akbari would be the logical replacement for him. He spent a little period on loan at Amy Park with Melbourne Victory a couple of years back. If Gomulka is unable to continue.
Well, I think they'll definitely see it at least till half-time, won't they? Only 45 seconds to go.
And they've got a free kick in an attacking situation here. Scott Neville looking to steal in at the back post.
Well, he thought he'd done well there, Scott Neville, and won the corner. Tom Aldred's asking about in back play. Was a player brought down as the ball came in? If you look here.
Well, Roderick Miranda just falls into Tom Aldred and drags him down.
I think he's got a...
Yeah, I think he's got a bit of a case there, to be honest.
I do as well.
Maybe the last chance for either team. The end of the first half. This is Hoare. Stjepovic's touch for O'Shea, and it goes for a throw. Is there going to be time enough to take it?
Well, that sums up their Brisbane Roar. 4 players on the sideline within 10 metres and not one player anywhere near the box. This makes it very difficult to score goals.
Not too much movement from the throw either. Actually, it does come in. On we go for the moment. Maybe that injury to Tarash Gomulka just adding a few more seconds at the end of the first period. Here's Hoare. Now Hingett in position. What about the quality of the cross? Easily seen out by Roderick Miranda at the near post. Up towards Fornaroli. Chapman for Romero. And he can turn clear of Gomulka. And Victory perhaps looking to launch the final attack of the first half. Bruno Fornaroli stood up well low by Neville. It breaks here though for Valupale. Encouraged to shoot again by the fans. And again Brisbane make the block. And a little belatedly that will be half-time at Amy Park. Lots of huff and puff from both teams. Nishan Valupale with a couple of efforts. Jordi Valadon had a pretty good opportunity for Victory. At the other end, Paul Izzo forced to make a decent save to deny Tom Aldred. Jay O'Shea with an effort that was deflected over. Maybe the goals will come in the second half, let's hope so, but at the break at Amy Park, it's goalless. Melbourne Victory 0, Brisbane Roar 0. We're off to a quick break. On the other side of it, Tristan and the team will wrap up all the first half action. Don't go away.
Welcome back in, we have Vicky, Joel and Scott. Notice I think that's straight at the top, so I don't forget their names. It's a secret. Welcome in now, all thanks to KFC, a match day night, one of our brilliant partners. You'll have to go first? Yeah, let's do that. Right, so we'll come up here. We've got our ball right here.
This year's Alex Tobin Medal is brought to you by Isuzu UTE. It's going bigger and better than ever, with the winner of the prestigious award receiving $10,000. Plus, the Isuzu UTE Alex Tobin medalist will nominate a junior football club of choice to win a brand new top-of-the-range Isuzu D-Max or 7-seat MUX during the grand final in June. To stay in touch with the leaderboard, tune in for weekly updates at your new home of football.
do a bit of a love heart, so you guys can do the first. Let me do a love heart here as well. And we want you to be doing a love heart up in the stands, okay? So we're going to move out of the way. We're going to zoom in. Let's do a love heart together. Yeah, look at that. Up the way. One more time, Alicia. What do you want me to do? So parents, you be the coach with your kids. Put some love hearts up there. There we go. That's a really good. Yeah, you can do it yourself. You can do it with your friends next to you as well, with your family. Nice. What do you think, Alicia? Really good. Really good. Really good. We've done this before. There we go. We got one. Well done, sir. That was brilliant. So there you go, parents. You be the coach with your kids. Scan the QR code on the big screen now to take some love and engagement. Listen up. Liberty crowd and supports the neighbourhood.
Well, Macklin Freak has been relatively well protected by his defence on his return to the Brisbane Roar starting 11. First time since December. Melbourne Victory, as the boys said at half-time, have had the lion's share of possession. Certainly dominated territorially, but just that little bit of quality missing. Perhaps they can find it in the second 45. Chapman up against the team he left midway through the season, playing alongside Geordie Valadon in midfield today. His starting debut in Victory colours. Brisbane Roar, they've kept 7 clean sheets this season. Only the Wanderers have kept more than that. And a reminder of the bigger picture context of tonight's game. Both clubs, of course, needing a win to finish outside the bottom 4 and thus avoid those Australia Cup playoffs in July. A point for Victory might be enough. It would take them into 8th on goal difference, but if the game between Perth and Western United later ended in a draw, then they'd be back in the bottom 4. A point certainly not enough to take Brisbane out of the lower reaches. But a win would do it for either. Let's see if one of these two teams can provide it in the second half. And Brisbane get us back underway. And I've mentioned this before this season, Daniel McBreen. This little period between the 45th minute and the hour mark is where Victory have done some of their best work this season. They've scored 10 goals, which is the joint most in the league, along with Melbourne City. So Brisbane beware for the first quarter of an hour at least.
You're saying they can switch off after the first 15? It's not been that bad, has it? Well, there's been plenty of industry from both teams. They've created some half chances. Just can't quite open the lock.
Let's see if Brisbane can do that here. A little back heel. Henry Hall trying to play himself in. Partly cleared by Chapman, but back will come through Gumulka. And Paul Izzo will pick that one up. launch it forward quickly. Chested down beautifully by Fornaroli. Victory immediately on the attack. Fornaroli. Neville staying with him. And he drove it low across the face, and Victory fans appealing for a pass back off Gamulka. I don't think that was ever likely to be given.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
How about this for a touch?
I was just going to ask you, Simon, still now, he's getting on in years, is there a better striker back to goal than this man in the league?
Well, I mean, he grew up in Uruguay, of course. Same town as Luis Suarez, and it's very much the way that strikers in South America, or a lot of them anyway, play, isn't it? Back to goal, use your backside, use your body.
Pinning defenders, using your strength. Yeah, he's been exceptional at it. Still, it's the hallmark of his game.
Here's a question for you, Macca. Are he and Romero a bit too similar, perhaps?
I think they are very similar in stature. I think Romero's probably a little less back to play than Fornaroli. But still, as we see there winning the free kick, still does have some similar attributes, doesn't he? You could learn a lot off that man.
Well, at least they can speak the same language. However, so far tonight, the Victory attack has produced just one shot on target from 8 attempts. Last week against MacArthur, they had 10 on target from 25. That's their most all season. Brisbane have been pretty solid defensively this season, and they're looking to spring forward on the counter here. Just Lofthouse in position in the box. Henry Hall was calling for it. Victory have got defenders back in numbers. And Brisbane have to settle for a corner off Cadete.
Well, they did well, Melbourne Victory, there to get numbers back. There's 3 or 4 Brisbane Roar players on the attack, but 5 or 6 Melbourne Victory flooded that box, forced Brisbane Roar to come back outside the box and back wide again.
Jay O'Shea with the first corner of the second stanza. So they jockey for position. Deep it goes. And Courtney Perkins met it. And then Valadon partly clear for Victory. Put back forward by Truin, but easily steadied down by Romero. Now with Falami and Valadon. This is nicely built up by Melbourne Victory. And away they go. Big chance for the opening goal. It's a big save by Freak to deny Fernando Romero. And a complete miscue by Courtney Perkins, but Brisbane get away with that. And Victory sprung forward from one end of the pitch to the other in a matter of seconds.
It was a good break in the Harvey Norman replay. Romero found himself away, and he just had a heavy touch as Macklin Freak came out, spread himself, closed down the space. I believe the referee's assistant had the flag up anyway, but allowed play to go on. Brisbane got the ball back.
Victory wanted a foul there. Certainly some of their fans did. On we go. Courtney Perkins. Gets it back off Gamulka. This heavy deflection. And into the grateful arms of Paul Izzo. By the way, talking of shots in a game, said that number of 10 on target against MacArthur was Victory's best of the season. In terms of shots on goal overall, they had 29 against Brisbane back in round 2 in Redcliffe. Only 2 on target, and that goalless draw. That was their best return in that category this season.
And that was against 10 men for 60 minutes, wasn't it?
Here's a chance for them potentially, but no problems for Freak or Fornaroli that time.
Sloppy from Jack Hindert, wasn't it? A man of his pedigree from that area. You can see what he was trying to do. Get some bend on that ball and whip it into that far corner.
Looking for his 90th A-League goal tonight, Bruno Fornaroli, which would take him level with a certain Archie Thompson.
I'll tell you what, everyone's catching up to Archie recently,
I know.
aren't they?
I think I'm going to be next. How many did you get, Macca?
Nowhere near as much as Archie.
He was pretty good, to be fair. Valadon. The right idea. It's not the execution. Does well to ride that challenge. The return ball just favoured Chapman. Brisbane are asking Sean Evans, should there have been a free kick? And he did play the advantage. Brisbane were only in possession for a second or two longer. You think it was a foul, Macca?
I did think it was a foul. I thought once the advantage was lost, he might have pulled it back.
Tony Popovic relieved he didn't. Never won the wooden spoon as a coach. That was a possibility, even as late as this afternoon before MacArthur went down at home to Wellington Phoenix. There's Lofthouse with Cadete at his back. Well defended by the Spaniard, no foul there. Romero able to turn, rather Fornaroli I should say, still Fornaroli. Might fall for Romero, or even Valupale here. Just wouldn't sit for him.
I think he had to have the strike first time. As it was coming down, as it was dropping, just swing the laces through it.
Well, Victory fans perhaps sensing that their team starting to build up a bit of a head of steam. Nice little sidestep by Falami, still going. Overran it in the end, and Neville nipped in. And will look to now set up a Brisbane Roar attack. Henry Hall on the move down the left. O'Shea wants the ball played early. Ball goes on his own, little back heel. Jordan Courtney Perkins fires it into the roof of the net. And Brisbane Roar take the lead in the 54th minute. And it's the first goal in the competition for the fullback, Jordan Courtney Perkins, with a thunderous drive.
Well, it's a wonderful counter-attacking move on the Harvey Norman replay. And as Henry Hall drove forward, he had Jay O'Shea, chose to ignore him, and as he goes inside, he brings all the Melbourne Victory defenders with him. Courtney Perkins overlaps, one touch, and then it's just with sheer brute force that he gets the ball past Izzo. Lovely back heel from Hall, and then whack from Courtney Perkins. There's nothing Izzo can do about it. And after looking promising at one end for Melbourne Victory, Brisbane Roar go down the other end and take a 1-0 advantage.
Well, he's on loan this season, back with the Roar. Jordan Courtney Perkins from his club side in Poland. He's only missed one game on his return to Queensland. And finally, in his 40th game, he has a goal. Just as Melbourne Victory look to be starting to put their foot down a bit, it's Brisbane who score at the other end. And in fairness, over the course of the journey, Macca, the Roar have probably created the better chances.
Yeah, I would say I agree with that. Probably that one effort from Nishan Valupale in the first half of Victory was probably one of the better of the matches, but we're only just saying how Victory looked to be starting to control the match. move the ball around a bit and cause some problems, and that's why we love football. Turn as quick as that.
Well, as it stands, Brisbane are up to 7th on the A-League ladder. On the back of that goal, still a way to go here, of course. Miranda. Cadete. Had time to have a little look. Swept away at the near post by Neville. Deep with the 1-2 down that left-hand side. Cadete angles it back for Valupale, who was all wrapped up by Gamulka. Lofthouse to carry it forward for the Roar. Nice tight control. That's going to be a booking and no mistake for Connor Chapman. Got away with one perhaps in the first half, but not on that occasion.
There's no real need there. His Lofthouse was off and away, but there's plenty of cover. There, Miranda was there. He's up cover inside as well.
Number 7, Chris.
Now, victory of seen enough, or Tony Popovic has. He's going to make a double change here. There's confirmation of that yellow card for Connor Chapman. So Chris Economides and Rai Marchand are the two introductions. And Brisbane are going to make a change as well. Ramat Akbari to replace Tarash Gamulka, who did pick up that knock in the first half that needed a bit of treatment. Nishan Valupale, the other player to have his number called for Melbourne victory. So no messing around from Tony Popovic. Immediately makes that double change on the back of conceding. Got a free kick to defend here. Here's Henry Hoare. A little bit of good fortune. Just rebounded really off Courtney Perkins. Back to Hoare. And Akbari. Well, that would have been some introduction. First touch off the bench against his former club. Just falling away from that left-hand upright.
Well, we spoke earlier about maybe some safe play and not positive. Well, this was all positive, wasn't it? First touch comes in, hits it well, just rises too much over the bar.
Good anticipation from Hingett. Brisbane looking confident. Henry Hoare finding the angle, not once but twice. The second shooting lane perhaps wasn't as enticing as the first. This is an all too familiar position, Macca, for Melbourne victory this season. They huff and puff, aren't quite able to blow the other team's house down, and then bang, they concede.
Yeah, it's something that Tony Popovic is going to have to address in the off-season. Cutting edge in that final third has let them down numerous times this season, particularly early on, and then once it becomes a habit and confidence drops, it starts to seem to compound even more.
Negro's run was a strong one. Romero had a shot that was blocked. Here's Cepovic. Delayed long enough for that little run down the touchline of Jay O'Shea, who sidesteps Rai Marchand and links up with Lofthouse. Good first touch by Kai Truin. Also trying to find that top left corner. That's a couple of good chances that Brisbane have had since taking the lead as well, to extend their lead.
Yeah, it's that little touch there. Truin realising that he had a little bit of space over his shoulder. Little drop of the left shoulder and turns inside and found himself in space to get the shot away.
It's only the 9th time this season that Brisbane have taken the lead in an A-League match. The previous 8, they've won 5 and drawn 3. As we've mentioned before, the defensive side of things, not so much of a problem for Brisbane. That'll be Macklin Freaks. In fact, Macca, the 33 goals that Brisbane have conceded this season, better than 4 of the top 6.
Yeah. Definitely hasn't been a problem, particularly opening 2/3 of the season. The desperation in defence, plenty of bodies who sit deep and crowd the edge of their box, makes it difficult for opposition to get space to fashion shots very often.
The problem has been at the other end, but of course that was supposed to be Charlie Austin, and I guess Riku Danzaki as well has also departed.
Yeah, Danzaki really had the impact he did first time round.
Another 2 changes for Melbourne Victory.
And number 14, Colin Chapman, being replaced by number
Brooks replacing Fernando Romero, and Josh Brillante retaking the captain's armband as Connor Chapman makes his way to the sidelines. So Leighton Brooks was, of course, the injury time hero against MacArthur last week. That winner from Chris Economidis' cross. Let's see if Lightning can strike twice, and Victory hope it will do. Dead level in terms of shots on goal. Just the 2 on target from the home side. Fair few players re-signed for next season for Melbourne Victory, so going to have to be prudent with his transfer dealings, Tony Popovic.
Yeah, I believe there's only about 5 places up for grabs for next season. 17 or 18 contracted for next year.
Which means that the signings that do come in are going to have to work.
They are.
And of course, Nani will not be back. We learned that last week.
They'll have Jake Brimmer back, won't they, next season, which has obviously been a massive loss this year. Last season's Johnny Warren medalist. Nick Pagostino left to go overseas. Nani injured for the season.
Jason Guerrier has missed the last 5 games as well with that hip problem.
He missed a chunk at the start as well, I
Yep.
think, as well, yeah. So it hasn't been easy, I would say, for Tony Popovic, but still they would want a lot better than what has been dished up.
Especially as this time last year, of course, they were still chasing the Premiership and preparing for finals.
It's just amazing what a contrast, because when you look at last season and this season, there really wasn't too many huge changes in the squad. Flying high last year, weren't they? Right into it until the last day.
Probably most people's favourites in the second leg of that semi-final against Western United as well.
Yeah.
To go through to the grand final. Didn't happen, of course. Here's Cadete. Leaves it for Brillante.
Well, I believe you had them winning the competition this year, didn't you, Simon?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. That's a decent run. Economidis couldn't get on the end of it. It's slashed towards goal by Brillante. And Brooks knew he was offside, so didn't bother going for it. The clearance by Hingerts is a touch weak. And Economidis and Brooks quite on the same wavelength. There's a Queenslander, of course, by birth, Leighton Brooks. Actually, came through the Brisbane Roar youth team, won the Y-League with the Roar back in 1819. So he might have been lining up for the opposition tonight. A little clash of heads there. Sean Evans keeping an eye on that. Victory continue with Brillante. Rai Marchand. Cadete. So too straight, too high, too strong for Brooks.
That says it all there, doesn't it? The shake of the head. Oh, see the eye there from Jay O'Shea.
And this is how it happened. He and Roderick Miranda going for the ball.
It's a finger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's sore. He's clearly struggling to get clear vision through that eye at the moment. Way back, says Sean Evans. Keep going, Stefan. Midway point of the second half. Too many Raw players around Rai Marchand there. Really crowded him out. Henry Hall, too strong for the Spaniards. In the one-on-one. Back through Hingett. Akbari. Hall. It was good football by Brisbane. A little unfortunate that didn't pay off for Jack Hingett. De Silva. What was required for Melbourne victory. Truin. Back through Neville. Down the line by Hingett for Hall. Neville under heavy pressure. Too heavy as it turned out. Free kick. Maybe a growing sense of frustration around Amy Park from those in navy blue on and off the pitch.
Well, that's been going for about 5-6 months now, hasn't it? It's been a difficult year. It's not one that this club's accustomed to. Obviously got the wooden spoon 2 seasons ago, but used to being at the pointy end of the table. And that's where they expect to be year in, year out as well.
Even just those little things, Macca, that we just saw there. The pass from Brooks just a fraction short of Brillante. Stepovic may have been coming back from an offside position there, but on we go. Lofthouse. Miss out O'Shea. Akbari picks up the loose ball. Wide is Courtney Perkins. O'Shea. Akbari. Tests Paul Izzo. Good try. A couple of chances out off the bench now.
Yeah, stung the palms of Izzo there, but one that he was expected to take.
Played just 9 times in Victory Blue. Ramat Akbari during his season on loan with the club back in 1819. Great story on his journey as well, and that of his family on A-League's All Access. Check that out. Paramount Plus. Here's a chance for Brillante. And just catching practice for Macklin Creek.
He found himself in an advanced position with a little bit of space, but didn't quite dig the ball out from underneath him as he tried to get the power in the strike.
Just on the Brisbane Roar goalkeeping situation, Macca, an interesting one. Macklin Freak starting today. Jordan Holmes has been the regular goalkeeper, but he was offered a contract during Warren Moon's final days with the club, and then that's been taken off the table, apparently. So his future a little bit unclear whether he'll be staying with the club or not.
Well, I wonder if tonight is a trial of such to go and prove himself. He's done plenty of times before.
A clean sheet would help, and we're on the way to that. Victory since that goal by Jordan Courtney-Perkins have really gone off the boil a bit. Here's Damien De Silva trying to bring them back to simmer. Negro's cross. Corner on, he can't reach it. Reloaded through Cadete, Economides, and De Silva at the back post. Swept clear by Aldridge. Back from Negro. And out again by Truitt. Cadete. Brisbane defending rather deep. Rai Marchand angled out for Cadete again. Looking to take on Henry Hall, who always looked to have his measure.
Yeah, he did. Defended well. Let's pick up the mark, Henry Hall. Saw there, he was waiting for him to go. His body in the way straight away. And I think he knew Cadete. There it is, there's the shove. Makes it easy for Hall to go down and wins the free kick. It's almost written in stone, isn't it? If you're defending near your own byline, if you get a touch, you fall down, you'll get a free kick. Don't say spoken like a true striker.
I normally do. You said it for me. Nick Green's record since he took over at Brisbane: 3 wins, 1 draw, 4 defeats. 10 points from a possible 24. Looking good for win number 4. And an extended off-season break, if it eventuates, without the need for playing Australia Cup playoffs. Whether he'll be in charge by then, who knows?
There's been plenty of conjecture around that role, hasn't there? Ross Aloisi, Marco Kurtz, Hayden Fox's name was thrown in as well. Yep.
Here's Henry Hall, got goal side of Cadete for a moment. Now, Victory thought they had a foul there. He certainly looked to have had his shirt held by his opponent. Akbari. It's too far for O'Shea. And it'll be a goal kick. And a nice black eye tomorrow, Jay O'Shea. More changes for Melbourne Victory. We're going to see the introduction of Bruce Kamau at the expense of Ben Falami. Falami was good in the first half, nice and positive. A little bit less so in the second.
Yeah, started the game positively. Running at defenders, had to cut inside. He's rather drifted out of the game, hasn't he, as the game's worn on. Maybe looking to Bruce Kamau to inject some more energy in that, going forward into that front third.
Well, dare I say it, since Fernando Romero forced a save out of Macklin Freak in the 49th minute, and Brisbane took the lead 5 minutes after that, I can't remember the Royal keeper being in serious bother. Meantime, Henry Hall's got a problem. Chance for Nick Green to say one or two words to his charges. If Brisbane do win tonight, a reminder they will leap up to 7th spot on the ladder as they prepare Nikola Milojevic off the bench. And whatever the results between Perth and Western United later, that would mean that Brisbane would have shown season upon season improvement. They finished 11th last year, of course. There's that change for the Raw. Henry Hawes' night is done. And Nikola Milojevic will take over. Late drama last week between Victory and MacArthur Bulls. They're heading towards that territory again. Precious few signs of a Victory comeback just at the moment. Instead, it's Brisbane launching an attack down the right. Clipped in by Milojevic, fresh off the bench, of course. Fornaroli, so strong, so difficult to shake off the ball, but he commits the foul. Little touch on Neville, which he thinks is harsh. Let's see if he's right. That's a foul. Milojevic. Ingots for Truin. Decent football by Brisbane. O'Shea. Drop of the shoulder, and he'll look to get around Cadete. Not quite able to do so. Run back briefly by Akbari. It's all a little bit laboured for Melbourne Victory. It's going to be a free kick though for the home side, coming back from an offside position. A touch by Kamau, and he's in position for the return from Brooks. Diving in, but won the ball. On back though, Stefan Negro. Brave by Freak to push it away at the near post. Kamau. Negro. Corner rolling. Not the tallest. Couldn't divert it goalwards. It's still alive for Economides. Went for the low percentage ball. Somehow it's worked out for Victory. Brillante. Passing lane wasn't quite there. A little bit better from Victory, signs of life. Kamau has given them perhaps that little bit of spark off the bench. Brooks. And the goalkeeper needed to come for it. He was a little bit late in making his mind up. In the end, he got there. A little nod of acknowledgement from Kai Truin. Don't leave it too late next time, Macklin.
Yeah, a little wry smile there from Macklin as well. It was not bad play, just a little bit of miscommunication there. They get away with it though.
Last 10 minutes. Given away by Miranda. One back by Raimar Shan. The fans urge Victory forward. Economides slides it out towards Bruno Fornaroli. He was only ever going to do one thing, wasn't he? And that is shoot. Unfortunately for him and for victory, it was off target.
You could see the way he was peeling off here. As soon as he got this ball, he was going to try and draw the defenders into his left foot and come inside on his right. I've seen him do that many times before, and it end with the net bulging.
He's such a competitor, isn't he? Even at the age of 35. The situation that Victory are in will hurt him as much as anybody. Maybe not quite as much as his coach. This is not where they expect it to be. And I'm not just talking about tonight. Having said that, Macca, it's been a trouble campaign for Brisbane as well. Departure of Warren Moon. And, of course, fans not necessarily altogether happy with the majority of the games being played at Redcliffe. That's going to change next season. Going to be back in Brisbane at Suncorp.
Yeah, and they've obviously lost the marquee in Charlie Austin as well.
Oh, that's lovely from Lofthouse. Before he was chopped down by Romar Shan. There was some real showboating from the young winger, and it was delightful close control, which really is his go. Look at that little nutmeg, which embarrassed the Spaniards. And the double back, Negro had a go, and eventually Romar Shan, well, let's call that agricultural. Don't do that again, son.
Yeah, well, he's just embarrassed them, hasn't he? There was plenty of calls from the Brisbane fans for Jez Lofthouse to be given more of a go early in the season. Set the world on fire in the NPL arena. And he's such a positive player, very skillful as he showed there.
Yeah, he's exciting. There's a little knot of Brisbane Roar supporters. Looking pretty happy with life at the moment. Sup on the pickle juice for Jez Lofthouse to help with the cramp. Still just 23. He was voted into the NPL Team of the Season 3 years in a row before getting his big break with Brisbane Roar. Struggled to establish himself really up until the last couple of months. Aldrin in no hurry to take the free kick. Victory desperate for a spark. Do not want to end their season on a losing note. If they do, of course, it would condemn them to an 11th place finish. Not quite their worst, but not far off. Kamau. Even the rebound's going Brisbane's way. And Hingert somehow managed to twinkle-toe his way down that touchline and draw the contact for the free kick. Another change, and Jez Lofthouse night's work is done. Joe Knowles to get the last 5 minutes or so. Another one who came through the NPL. They had such a standout campaign, of course, with Avondale.
He's one who's been asked to play in a number of different positions as well, hasn't he? I thought he'd be the out-and-out 9. Or a striker as a 2, but he's playing wing back on the wing as well.
And now, of course, they have Stefan Stepovic as their true number 9. Not really been heavily involved tonight, the Serbian. Scored just the 1 goal so far. Here he is on the ball.
We've also got Marcel Canardi on the bench as well, which we've hardly cited this season.
Yep, just 4 appearances off the bench. There's Stepovic. There's a real journeyman. Played in 11 different countries. Brisbane Roar, his 20th club. Here's a chance for him to finish it. Good save by Izzo. Still there for Stepovic. Miljusnic available. Top of the box is Akbari. And the flag comes to Victory's rescue. And then there's a little bit of afters. Negro trying to get the ball off Ramat Akbari. But a good chance that for Stepovic to add to his solitary goal tally. It probably would have been rubbed off anyway.
Yep, now he is in an offside position.
O'Shea. Miljusnic. Easy for De Silva. And Kamau couldn't stick hold of it. Really needed to. Well, these closing minutes really epitomising Melbourne Victory's season. Ones of pure frustration. They're staying till the end. Their loyal supporters. Brisbane within a few minutes of moving up to 7th spot on the ladder. Courtney Perkins, his goal on 54 minutes, divides the teams. Throw in for the Roar. They've won just twice on the road all season. One of those games here at AAMI Park against Victory, of course, back in January, by the same scoreline that we have so far tonight. Forward by Kamau. Hingett was goal side of Forderoli and Freak to clear. Here's O'Shea. Stepovic. Pretty sure that was a cross, not a shot. Now Victory being urged forward by the home fans. They know that time is short. Deep inside the final minute. And the boos ring out as they turn back. Frustration's boiling over. Here's De Silva again in that winger's role. The cross in for Kamau, who threw himself at it. That headed the ball wide.
Well, positive play from De Silva down the right. It's a good ball as well. We saw one earlier in the match. Bruce Kamau, you've got to give it to him. He attacked that ball. We haven't seen that too much in this second half from Melbourne Victory players in the box. I thought he had a bit of a shout maybe for a corner. It's back to the drawing board for these two teams.
Victory staring down the barrel of defeat number 14 for the season. Here's Stepovic. And Miljusnic was in position and he knew it. Just couldn't quite thread the ball through. 5 minutes to be added. We're in the first of those now. Victory desperate for a crumb of comfort at the end. De Silva's almost now operating full-time as a winger. Brooks is going to get there. Well, In the end, he let Aldred slide in and put it behind for the corner. He was the stoppage time hero against MacArthur last week for victory. They need another one now. Economy needs to deliver. Headed away by Akbari. Brisbane edge. A few seconds closer to an 8th clean sheet of the season. Economini's better delivery. Well, Forder rolling. Couldn't have tried any harder to angle his body into the correct contortional position. But just wide. Macklin Freak has been booked, by the way, for delaying the restart. They won't worry about that too much. Well, they're about to keep victory scoreless for the 3rd time this season. Looks that way. Here's Stepovic. Have the ball back through the midfield. It's going to be a throw for Melbourne Victory. And there are 2.5 minutes left for play. Forward rolling. Holding off the intentions of Hingerts. Wasn't too friendly either. Negro. Ryan Marchand. Brillante. Now they can turn and face forwards. Economides needs a good delivery. Can he find it? Took a flick off the defender. Miljanic got good clearing distance. Who does the throw go to? It's Brisbane. And there are just groans of disappointment around Amy Park, Macca.
Yeah, it was fighting Miljanic. They want to see this season out with a victory against victory. They haven't got far to go now. It's been a disappointing season, as we've said, for both teams, but I guess if Brisbane Roar can hold on to this result and sit in 7th after the game, I think the match after this will relegate them to...
Here's a chance. Good save by Freak to deny Roderick Miranda. Oh, now as the foot high by Hingert. Miranda's gone down. No penalty awarded for now. Into the box it comes. Another victory player down. This time De Silva. Economides with a very tame cross. And Brisbane see that one out. And Sean Evans is just going to say, hang on a second. Whilst Kate Jacobitz, the VAR, communicates with him. Might there be a bit of late drama here? I'm not sure I was fully convinced there was enough in it for a penalty, and that's been confirmed. Cross comes back into the box, away by Jack Hingert. We are now into the 6th minute of added time. It's now or never for victory. Flicked on by Miranda. Out it pops. And Brillante on the full. Plenty of power, but not the direction. And that might just be that.
Well, we've seen plenty of matches this season change, but not today in the last few minutes.
And a punch in the air from Tom Aldred and his teammates. Tells you all you need to know, along with the boos from the victory fans. Brisbane Roar celebrates. They win here for the 2nd time this season to avoid those cup playoffs. They are up to 7 spots. Some consolation for the Roar after a difficult campaign, but a season that began with so much promise ends in misery for Melbourne Victory. their 6th home defeat of the season. They will be involved in those cup playoffs. They finish in 11th spot. The only good news is their horrible year is finally over. Melbourne victory 0, Brisbane Roar 1 at Amy Park. And that solitary goal from Jordan Courtney Perkins is first in the competition. In the end, proving to be enough. And on the balance of clear chances created, probably justified Brisbane having the majority of them. Let's go down and get some reaction with Tristan. With Georgie, I should say. Sorry, Georgie.
No worries, Simon. How are you going? So I'm here with Jordan Courtney Perkins. Jordan, what a game. What did you make of that?
Yeah, it was obviously awesome to get the 3 points in the last game. Like, the season wasn't, we didn't reach the goals that we wanted to reach, but to come away, you know, with a win on the last day of the season, that's all we can really do. So that's, yeah, it's amazing. It feels good. Come
away with the win, come away with the goal. Talk me through it. What do you think?
Well, to be honest, I was knackered. I was running up and I'm yelling at Henners. I'm going, oh, back heel. And obviously he's my roomie, so we got a good connection and he listened to me and, yeah, just put my head down and hit it and looked up and it was in the back of the net. So pretty stoked with that.
How many more goals can we expect from you next season? Let's put a number on it now.
We'll make it 2-1 or just make it one more than the other one.
What kind of an impact has Nick Green had on this club since he's taken over?
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's obviously we haven't had the best season, and the gaffer coming in, he really came in and made us, you know, think positively. And we had 8 games left in the season, and it was all to play for. And obviously it didn't work out in the end, but we came away with a lot of good results, a lot of good performances, and yeah, I think he had a positive impact on us. Yeah.
When you start looking towards next season, how long do you get off?
To be honest, I have no idea. I actually have no idea, but I'm hoping just maybe 1 or 2 weeks. But you know, just got to keep fit, got to keep ticking over. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I have no idea.
Congrats, Geordie. Thanks for your time. Go celebrate.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So that was Jordan Courtney Perkins. Commiserations. What did you make of this game?
Look, it's not the result we wanted. We wanted to try and finish on up 2 wins in a row to win the season, but we couldn't do it today, unfortunately. So we're just going to regroup and go again next season.
How are you feeling? Subbed off in that second half. Are you feeling all right?
Well, I don't think any of us are happy, you know, with the season we've had. Obviously, the coaches have to make changes when they see fit. So that's their decision. That's fine. I've got no problem with that. But we just need to look at ourselves in the mirror and realise that it hasn't been good enough, and we need to lift for next season.
How do you cope with that kind of uncertainty, I guess, where it comes to, you know, personally? That's got to be tough.
Well, it's part of football. It's part of the game, you know. It's something that you have to deal with when you're not playing well, as a team and as an individual. Coaches are going to make changes. Things are going to happen. So we have to lift.
How do you rate, if you could look at the season and sum it up in, you know, a few sentences? I know disappointing, but what's your overall takeaway?
Look, it just hasn't been the season at all that we wanted. Hasn't shaped out the way that we thought it would. But these things can happen in football. Obviously, none of us are happy. None of us are proud. We have to look at ourselves and go again.
Thanks for your time tonight.
Thank you.